Hello, hello. It is March 27th. Happy Friday, everyone. Hopefully, you have already completed today's attendance, completed an entry in your Corona Chronicle, and I hope you've also watched the cheesy video I assigned you to watch. Quick note on that, memoir is just another way to say personal narrative. So they used memoir in that video. They talked about memoirs. All of that applies to personal narrative. So feel free to take any of that information and apply it to your own personal narrative. So, today's objective, hopefully today, you are going to be able to have a topic or a story picked out, whatever you want to write about. Whatever you want to make your personal narrative or your memoir about. That's what you're thinking about. That's what you're picking out today. So, you're here with me. We're looking at breaking down the steps of the storytelling arc, but you're not going to fill out this arc until you know what your topic is. So if you're having a hard time picking out your topic, if you're having a hard time, like, I don't know what to write about, go to Google Classroom, go to the personal narrative topic, click on the material that talks about brainstorming, okay? That'll get you started. Remember, you have until Monday at midnight, just as long as you get this turned in before class on Tuesday. So if you need to take the weekend to think about your topic, feel free to do so. Okay, so what I'm doing right here, what I would like you to do, once you have your topic filled out, you're going to think about how is this story, when I say topic, I mean the story or the memory you're going to pick. How is this incident, memory, story, topic, how can you apply that to the storytelling arc? Because the truth of the matter is you're not just writing an essay when you write a personal narrative. You're writing a story, right? You are writing a non-fictional piece of literature, and you're spicing it up. It's subjective, okay? You're trying to make it entertaining, though. You're trying to make it like oh, it's an adventure. Like, you're trying to use a storytelling arc so that your story follows a pattern that entices the audience. So today I'm going to go through this with you, and I'm going to complete this based on the colorful fire essay that you saw online. Okay, so I'm creating this storytelling arc based on that essay. So if this is confusing for you, read that essay again and then see how I did this. Okay? Colorful fire. So again, starting off with the beginning, the exposition. If you read that essay one more time, you'll see in the exposition that, remember, it's a setting, it's a time and place, and it's also kind of the lay of the land. From that exposition, we know it's a hot summer day. Our main character is playing with the neighbor and her little brother. Okay? And what happens is her crayons melt on the sidewalk because of the sun. Sun melt the crayons. So, that's our exposition. That's the lay of the land in that essay, the lay of the land in that story. Okay? So, the conflict that's introduced, our brilliant writer said, oh my goodness, if the sun can melt the crayons, I bet the stove could. So that whole idea, let's take it to the stove. Okay, let's take it to the stove. Some of the rising action with that. Stove is turned on high. Light it up. Second rising action. All the crayons were poured into the pan. Right? So stove is on high. All the crayons are poured in the pan. And our brilliant writer went into the living room to watch cartoons with her neighbor and her brother. Okay? Boom. So then our climax, 2 seconds later, now this is a great climax. They hear the pop. The popping, remember she says it sounds like popping of popcorn, and there was a fire. Whoa, big climax there. The fire is the most exciting part. It's hands down the climax, okay? So the falling action, our narrator puts out the fire and then cleans up. Okay, that's not the ending though, right? Puts out the fire, cleans up. The real ending here is what our narrator learned about themselves. Remember, if you read that last paragraph of the essay, the narrator says, I took care of it. I took care of the problem. I learned, and she even says, I learned a lot more about myself that day than I did about being careful in the kitchen. So that lesson there, your resolution should be the lesson learned. Okay? I took care of it. It was like a self-reflection, like what they learned about themselves. So, I'm posting this video to Google Classroom. This is really all you're doing. You're just kind of laying out that memory or that topic and putting it on the chart, and just kind of noting like what is the highlight, what is the exposition, what's the conflict, going through those steps. This is really your outline. Like, what are you going to include? Before that writer wrote that essay, she did this. She created an outline on her storytelling arc. This is your outline, okay? If you don't have all 9 points, that's okay. You should have 6 of them, though. 1, 2. Okay, these are the 6 you should have: exposition, conflict, at least 1 for the rising action. You should have the climax, falling action, and the resolution. Okay, so you should have at least 6 points. If you have more or less, that's okay. Well, if you have more, that's okay. Any questions on this, let me know. There's also another example of a storytelling arc on Google Classroom. Okay, email me if you have any questions. I'm online all day. Miss you guys.